Hello, it's Miss Roberts here, and today we're going to discuss the cultural artifact speech. In this assignment, we're going to explore our culture, we're going to organize our presentations, and use visual aids. Let's begin. Okay, so in this assignment, we're going to do the following. I'm going to scroll down to the requirements and the outline. In this assignment, you will be speaking for 3 to 5 minutes and you have to have a visual aid. So the visual aid will feature an artifact from your culture or a hobby. So we're expanding the definition of culture to something that is from your national ethnic background or your hobby culture. So for example, if you're a gamer, you can put something from there, or you can discuss something from your national ethnic culture, such as an article of clothing, a food dish, a an artifact, or excuse me, a piece of artwork from your culture. So you want to make sure that you're within that 3 to 5 minute space. So make sure not to go over or under 30 seconds to avoid any point deductions. You're going to record your video and complete a YouTube upload. I have directions on how to do so on Canvas. And make sure you upload your video. You can either set it to unlisted or public, but not private. And make sure I see the video before deleting the video if that's what you choose to do. So you can actually you can have the actual object in the screen in the shot while you describe it, or you can provide a picture. So you don't necessarily need to use any fancy editing software. Some people have used actual photos. Some people have used other devices such as a tablet and showed it on the screen. But I need to see the object. Either it has to be the actual physical object to show on the screen or a picture of it. But you don't necessarily need to insert the images in and edit and cut and things like that, but I do need to see the object. If you do have any questions about these, let me know via Canvas inbox or my campus email. So here is the outline. So this is the way that you can organize your speech once you decided which object you're going to use. Remember, it can be based on a hobby. Say if you like to hike and go on nature walks, you can show either boots. If you like to game, you can show the actual game that you like to play. If you are a fandom of the show and you have the box set, you can show me the box set, whichever you choose. And the additional examples from national ethnic cultures such as cuisine, artwork, or any physical object that represents your national ethnic culture. So first we're going to start with the introduction. So we'll have our attention getter. This can be a fact, quote, or stat, hypothetical situation, or anecdote, but that's the first thing that you're going to say in your speech. You're going to also reveal the object and provide a little bit of background information. Why did you choose this particular object? Why does it have significance to you? And you're going to have your thesis statement and main points. Tell us a brief preview of what your speech is going to be about. And it's going to be related to the body section. So you have two body sections within this speech and within this outline. So we're going to explore the actual object and the actual uses for the object and what the object represents. So for example, for part A, you're going to describe how the artifact is used for the culture or hobby and what are the values of the artifact. So an example of values, so let's say if I want to talk about Southern cuisine or soul food cuisine from my culture as an African American, I can discuss the history of certain soul food dishes or where the name soul food came from, or my ancestral link to these dishes. And the value it brings to me when cooking these dishes are being connected to my roots, my ancestry, and because I make these dishes during holidays, it's usually a festive occasion. So, in part A, you're going to talk about how the artifact is used and the values, feelings, and emotions that this artifact represents. You also want to have a transitional phase between the body section and the next, excuse me, between body section one and body section two. So, for example, now that I talked about what the cultural artifact represents, next I'm going to talk about how I identify with the culture and hobby. So you can have some variation of that. It's totally up to you, but you want to have your transition word and then mention of the next topic. Next, you're going to talk about the personal connection you have with the object. How is this culture or hobby important in your life? So, for example, I play the Sims game. Well, I haven't played it in a while, but I really like the Sims game. I've been playing for almost 20 years, and it was a really relaxing hobby for me. Wasn't a very skilled gamer, so adventure games wasn't something that I gravitated to. But because The Sims was such an open-ended game, I really liked it, and I was able to create a virtual dollhouse. So that's one example. If I was choosing The Sims to write this particular speech about, that's how I would describe the importance of The Sims into my life. And then, just like part one, why are the values important to you or seen in your life? So what are some of the values? What value do this object and how are you connected with this particular object? The final part is the closing. So you're going to have the review of the thesis and the main points. If you scroll back to the thesis statement up here, you can have them mirror each other. So for example, today I will talk about A and B. Today I just talked about A and B. So of course, A and B will be a summary of your body sections. And then you're going to have a final statement. So for example, give an overall takeaway, something that you learned from this project, but just an overall takeaway and final statement for this assignment. Overall, we're focusing on organization and the content, and we're getting more personal with you in addition to using visual aids and discussing our culture. For the sake of this project, I expanded the definition of culture from not just national ethnic origin, but a hobby as well, because sometimes hobbies are so wide reaching, has its own culture of its own. So definitely pick which object you want to choose. It can be super easy. You can actually just hold up the object and talk about it as your visual aid, but you do have to show a representation of the object, either via picture, if you have a tablet, or any other picture, just hold it up or show the actual object. Make sure you follow the guidelines of delivery, have good eye contact, make sure you're speaking into the microphone, have good lighting, making sure you're sitting up straight or standing straight, and reducing the amount of fillers. Of course, if you have any questions, please let me know either via Canvas inbox or through my campus email. Thank you so much and have a good evening. Bye.